A hunt that once seemed certain suddenly turns into a moment of miscalculation for the lion. It underestimates the prey's reflexes and moves too deeply into a dangerous range. Sharp horns, powerful hind legs, and pure survival instinct quickly become a formidable defense. When the lion fails, the savanna reveals that even strength has its limits. But after that sudden counterattack, will the ruler of the grasslands retreat or charge forward once again? Lions are among the most powerful big cats, yet no hunt is ever guaranteed by strength alone. Prey can change direction without warning, disrupt the rhythm of the pursuit, or use the terrain to escape mounting pressure. Just one moment of lost momentum or a single miscalculation can cost the predator its advantage. In the wild, failure does not diminish authority. It serves as a reminder that power is always tested by balance. Across the dry grasslands of Africa, height serves as both an advantage and a risk. It allows giraffes to spot danger from far away, yet also makes them easier to track across open terrain. With legs standing nearly 6 feet tall and a body weight around 2,600 pounds, an adult giraffe often avoids conflict by detecting threats early and moving away. But against the coordinated strategy of a lion pride, safe distance can disappear very quickly. When lions close in as a group, especially toward a young, weak, or isolated giraffe, running is not always the best option. To reach the calf, the predators must first overcome the mother. As the circle tightens, she pivots carefully, maintains distance, and uses her long legs like a living defensive barrier. Just one lion approaching from the wrong angle can instantly shift the advantage. Powerful rear kicks strike with remarkable speed, forcing the predators away from the danger zone. In those chaotic moments, every defensive movement must be precise as the mother protects the calf while keeping it within a safe position. Because of that, many standoffs end in caution rather than success. Even with sophisticated pack tactics, the odds of bringing down a fully grown giraffe remain very low. Across the savanna, retreat is not weakness, but a survival instinct when facing a creature so massive and so resilient. Hippos are often compared to living tanks of Africa. With massive bodies weighing more than 3,000 pounds and highly unpredictable behavior, they are not easy animals to challenge. One of their clearest biological limits is skin that must stay moist, causing hippos to spend much of the day in water before moving onto land to graze at night. That rhythm can sometimes create a dangerous opening, where lions may observe and wait for an opportunity. The instinct to feed pushes lions to test their chances, but the water's edge is not a place where they can easily dominate. If they move too close, they may be forced back by the hippo's large jaws, body strength, and defensive response. For that reason, lions usually avoid direct confrontation in the water, patiently changing tactics and waiting for the target to come ashore. When the air cools, a hippo on land can fall within the watchful range of a lion group. Once surrounded, it no longer appears slow and can suddenly burst forward at around 20 miles per hour over a short distance. A single change of direction can quickly shift the safe distance. Even when stuck in mud or pressured from several sides, a hippo is still not an easy target to overcome. Thick skin, heavy build, and sudden acceleration help it create enough space to break away from the circle. Lions may be more advanced in strategy, but the hippo proves that defensive strength can sometimes be enough to turn the situation around. Across the African savanna, the lion's long-standing rival is the spotted hyena. They may not look as majestic as big cats, but they possess remarkable endurance, a sharp sense of smell, and highly coordinated group behavior. An adult can weigh more than 150 pounds, with an estimated bite force exceeding 1,000 pounds per square inch, making many rivals keep their distance. In this ecosystem, hyenas are not merely opportunistic feeders. They often challenge the lion's position around recently claimed food. When a lion rushes in while hyenas are competing over a meal, the forceful approach can break the group's formation. A few individuals may step back, but their urgent calls quickly draw more members closer. Hyenas rarely retreat too far. They spread into a wide circle, watch every movement, and wait for the right moment to regain the advantage. If a young male lion separates from the pride while searching for food, the situation can shift. The hyenas close in from several directions, not through direct confrontation, but by constantly disrupting the lion and extending the tension. Each advance is meant to wear down its focus, forcing the lion to turn defensively and gradually lose control. Even when a lioness has just secured food, hyenas can still form a tightening circle, using numbers and sound to create pressure. If a mature male lion appears, the balance often changes very quickly. But if not, the meal may fall into the hands of the hyena clan. On the savanna, power does not belong only to the strongest. It also belongs to those that can keep pressure until the final moment. When a lion leaves the grasslands and moves towards the river's edge, its dominance begins to weaken. There, solid ground gives way to soft mud, murky water, and unpredictable depths. The Nile crocodile rules that boundary. A large individual can measure more than 16 feet long, weigh nearly 1,000 pounds, and carry an estimated bite force of around 3,700 pounds per square inch. For a lion, crossing a river is not merely movement. It is a moment when the group stretches apart, speed drops, and reflexes are slowed by the water. When a lioness leads her cubs through shallow water, every step becomes heavier. With just one lapse in awareness, the surface can shift from stillness to chaos. The crocodile does not need to display its strength. It stays low, waits until the distance is close enough, then surges forward in a short burst. The goal is not a long pursuit, but to disrupt the formation and force the pride back toward the bank. The lioness immediately turns, shields the path, and pushes the cubs away from the dangerous water. Once their paws reach dry ground again, the confrontation begins to fade. The lion remains a formidable predator across the savanna, but beneath the water, the crocodile follows a different set of rules. Nature has no fixed throne. Every territory has its own guardian of balance. Behind the zebra's calm appearance lies a formidable defense mechanism, rear legs capable of producing tremendous force. A direct kick from steel-hard hooves can generate an estimated pressure of nearly 3,000 pounds per square inch, powerful enough to force any reckless predator back instantly. When the chase begins, a young zebra weighing around 150 pounds can quickly become a target. But at the edge of survival, the mother erupts with protective instinct. In a split second, she pivots her body, turning weight into momentum to unleash a powerful counterstrike. Against thousands of pounds of force, the predator's claws, measuring roughly 2 inches long, suddenly lose their advantage. Nature has recorded many moments when zebras turned a hunt into a dangerous reversal. The counterattack may last only seconds, but it can create a critical path to survival. The predator retreats, leaving behind drifting dust and a costly lesson. Out here, survival does not belong only to the strongest, but to the one capable of delivering a decisive strike in the fight to endure. Across the vast savanna, the African buffalo stands like a living biological fortress. An adult can weigh around 1,500 pounds, with a heavily built frame and curved horns that form a solid shield of bone across the top of the head. They are not as fast as antelope, but they make up for it with endurance, resilience, and a remarkably strong herd defense instinct. For lions, buffalo represent a massive source of energy, but also significant risk. A hunting group usually tries to isolate the young, the old, or individuals separated from the herd, because confronting the entire group directly can be extremely dangerous. When they sense danger moving closer, buffalo rarely panic. Many turn back, tighten their formation, and create a living wall. The tension peaks when a lion moves too close. Within only a few short strides, a buffalo can lower its head and use the full weight of its body to drive the pressure backward. Others immediately move into position, disrupting the rhythm of the hunt. Without the advantage of surprise, the lions are often forced to retreat. A single movement on the ice, and the encounter begins almost instantly. The polar bear is not only powerful, but remarkably persistent as a hunter. Once it aligns itself in the right position, the target is often forced into a critical test of survival. In the Arctic wild, even the slightest delay can change everything. So when that white giant truly makes its move, who can still slip away in time? Seals are one of the most important sources of survival for the polar bear. They carry a thick, energy-rich layer of fat, helping the Arctic predator maintain strength through long periods with little food. On the ice, seals may appear slow, but underwater, they are fast, flexible, and able to turn even a narrow crack into a safe escape route. At a breathing hole, the polar bear becomes almost like a silent shadow. With favorable wind, it can detect scent from about 20 miles away, lie low on the ice, and wait for more than 6 hours without moving. When the seal rises for air, the burst of action happens instantly. The bear lunges forward, driving its full weight onto a narrow point on the ice, turning hours of patience into a sudden, precise, close-range move. When seals rest on drifting ice, the polar bear's hunt becomes a test of distance and patience. The bear lowers its body, circles with the wind, and lets its translucent fur blend into the icy background. Its wide paws help each step land more softly on the snow. If the seal detects it too early, the chance disappears into the cold water. But if the distance is close enough, a short burst of speed can decide everything in seconds. Even then, success is never easy. The polar bear's seal hunting success rate is often below 20%. In the Arctic, survival belongs to the one that knows how to wait for the right moment. In late summer, when seal-breathing holes disappear and familiar prey is nearly gone, every alternative food source becomes valuable. On land, the polar bear begins to rely on smaller opportunities to extend survival. In shallow streams just a few feet deep, salmon are forced to expose themselves as they surge upstream. The bear stands still for long periods, keeping its eyes on the water, then sweeps down at the exact moment the fish breaks the surface. The reward is far smaller than a seal, but it still provides protein and fat during a time of energy shortage. Higher along coastal cliffs, seabird eggs become another supplemental source. Research in the Arctic shows that polar bears are increasingly turning to bird nests in some regions as the ice season shortens, though this food is far less energy-rich than seal fat. At this stage, survival is no longer measured by a single major hunt. It is extended through patience, through small opportunities, and through the ability to endure until the ice returns. The polar bear is the largest land predator still in existence. An adult can weigh around 1,000 pounds during peak energy storage. Its dense fur, insulating fat layer, and heat-absorbing skin allow it to withstand the harsh Arctic winds. Wide paws distribute its weight across thin ice, while also supporting long swims through frigid waters. Across that vast white realm, every step reveals a truth. Survival demands not only strength, but complete adaptation. Under the pale light of the polar summer, the sea does not open into broad water, but is divided by ice into narrow breathing gaps. For beluga whales, these openings become lifelines when the ice closes in. An adult weighs under 3,000 pounds, protected by a fat layer up to about 5 inches thick. But when there are fewer places to surface for air, even intelligence and deep-diving ability have limits. Hidden behind the snow, the polar bear stays motionless like a rock. It does not pursue underwater, where the beluga is faster and more agile. Instead, it chooses a position near the breathing gap, reading the wind, the water's surface, and the faint movements beneath the ice. When the beluga surfaces, the bear drives its full weight onto the slippery ice edge, using powerful pulling strength to gain an advantage against the cold water. In tide-affected areas, water levels can shift by about 6 feet, constantly changing the distance between predator and prey. Many approaches may pass without result, but the polar bear keeps adjusting its position with patience and its ability to read the rhythm of the ocean. This encounter shows that success does not come from haste, but from patience and precise timing. Across the wind-swept tundra, caribou emerge as resilient nomads of the north. During migrations that stretch hundreds to thousands of miles, they can reach bursts of speed up to 50 miles per hour across open ground. Their remarkable endurance and disciplined herd structure serve as a natural defense, allowing them to persist for millions of years against constant threats. Hunting caribou is not a typical choice. The polar bear's heavy build makes it difficult to sustain a long chase. Instead, it waits for a specific situation: a favorable wind, soft ground, shallow water edges, or an individual that is young, vulnerable, or slightly out of sync with the herd. When the opportunity appears, the polar bear launches forward, reaching speeds up to 25 miles per hour. The target is quickly approached and isolated. If an adult caribou is driven into muddy ground or still water, its speed advantage begins to fade. The bear's strength becomes a clear pressure. The encounter unfolds quickly, tense, then fades into drifting dust and cold wind. The reward for this adaptation is a valuable source of nutrition, helping the bear build thick fat reserves before the harsh winter returns. At the edge of the frozen world, every calorie carries survival value, and even the Arctic's largest predator must compete to hold its advantage. The polar bear lives alone, without fixed territory, yet still competes around food sources and mating opportunities. When sea ice breaks up early, the window to hunt seals narrows, turning ice edges and leftover food sources into critical survival hotspots. Conflict begins when safe distance is broken. Two bears move in slowly, signaling through sound and body language, testing each other before deciding whether to press forward or step back. Many encounters end in pushing contests and endurance trials, because even a minor injury in this environment can carry a heavy cost. The one that yields often loses access to food or reproductive advantage. For a mother with cubs, the pressure is even greater. Females tend to avoid males, as cubs may be at risk if paths cross. When danger approaches, the goal is not to win, but to hold just long enough to guide the young away from risk. In that frozen realm, survival does not belong to the most aggressive, but to the one that endures the longest. Along coastal ice fields, walruses represent one of the greatest challenges for the polar bear. An adult can weigh over 3,000 pounds, with tusks exceeding 3 feet and thick skin that reduces the impact of any collision. This is not a target for brute force, but a problem of strategy in a harsh environment. The polar bear rarely confronts a healthy adult walrus head-on. Instead, it watches the edges of the haul-out, where dense groups can become unstable when startled. Using the wind, it moves in quietly, then suddenly accelerates to apply pressure on the entire group. Within seconds, a chain reaction spreads. Massive bodies shift toward the water, the formation opens, and a younger, weaker, or slower individual may become separated from the group's protection. Even when an opportunity appears, the outcome is never certain. Walruses have weight, long tusks, and a clear advantage once they reach the water. If the timing is off, the polar bear must pull back to avoid wasting energy. But if it succeeds, the reward is a valuable source of fat, providing around 150,000 calories, a rare reserve of energy in a frozen world where every decision carries a physical cost. After the encounter, the lion's dominance no longer seems absolute. One wrong decision can shift the entire outcome in an instant. Nature continually reminds the wild that defensive instinct can be just as formidable as raw strength. If you would like to see more remarkable wildlife encounters, be sure to like and subscribe. As the tall grass closes once again, the savanna falls silent like a quiet warning.